Some say that Star Wars was only saved in the edit, and nothing to do with George Lucas. Let's explore this. I will be referring to Episode 4, A New Hope, as just Star Wars. Which blockbuster film of the 1970s went way over budget, used groundbreaking special effects, and was saved by editing? That's right, I am talking about Jaws. First of all, let's very quickly go over the filmmaking process. 1. Script. First of all, there is a script. The most important part of the process. If this isn't well written, chances are that the film will not be any good. In the case of Star Wars, when the principal actors read the script, they unanimously thought that the dialogue was atrocious. However, they thought the story was intriguing.
It took another day to go, and the script arrived on my dressing table, and I heard that it had been delivered by George Lucas, and I thought, well, that's rather impressive, because he's an up-and-coming and very respect-worthy young director, so... And then when I opened it and found it was science fiction, I thought, oh, crumbs, this is simply not for me. And then I started reading, and it seemed to me the dialogue was pretty ropey. But I had to go on turning the page, and that's an essential in any script. You've got to know what happens next, or what's going to be said next. And I went on reading, and I thought, no, I like this. If only we can get some of the dialogue altered. And then I met him, we got on very well, and I found myself doing it, that's all.
2. Filming. Here is where the trouble begins. Every film ever made has an interesting making of story behind it. Some are easy shoots. Most are difficult. Going back to Jaws, the shark effect did not work for a large amount of time, so they had to shoot around the non-existent prop. Also, by all accounts, Steven Spielberg was slightly out of sea, and the editor of Jaws would have to tell Steven what to shoot, because she could not cut together the footage he was filming. Anything can happen whilst shooting. Disagreements with the studio or backers, or the money can run out. An actor can die during the shoot. Unfortunately, this happened with Oliver Reed in Ridley Scott's Gladiator. Apocalypse Now is probably the best-known film, where the film was an extremely difficult shoot, with countless problems.
Typhoons destroyed many of the sets, and the jungle took its toll on everyone. Martin Sheen, the lead role, suffered a heart attack, and Coppola himself had to be hospitalized for acute exhaustion and dehydration.
I was there in the middle of the jungle with everybody looking to me. We were having problems not only with the tremendous storms and difficulty and work relations. We were really at a point maybe where we couldn't finish the film. I was the dark horse, and I didn't have a lot of help from certain establishment aspects that, had no reason to wish me well. And very naively, I thought that the film would just go, kind of very smoothly. We'd be done, and the film would be a great success, and then we'd go and we'd start the MGM of the future.
3. Editing. This is where the film comes together, and hopefully the piece can cut together well, and everyone will be happy. But in editing, any cracks or flaws will quickly become apparent. When Back to the Future was being edited, the director Robert Zemeckis was not happy with the lead actor Eric Stoll's performance. So, Eric was fired and replaced with Michael J. Fox, and the rest is history. Editing is about pace, style, storytelling.
The assembly of film, and how it can be changed to create a different idea. Now we have a close-up. Let me show what he sees. Let's assume he saw a woman holding a baby in her arms. Now we cut back to his reaction to what he sees, and he smiles. Now what is he as a character? He's a kindly man. He's sympathetic. Now, let's take the middle piece of film away, the woman with the child, but leave his two pieces of film as they were. Now we'll put in a piece of film of a girl in a bikini. He looks, girl in a bikini, he smiles. What is he now? The dirty old man. He's no longer the benign gentleman who loves babies. That's the difference. That's what film can do.
This is where you can find things in the edit as well. The director Terrence Malick will change a film completely in the edit.
And then he edits his films in such a way that he cuts everybody out of them. You know, the story of Adrian Brody.
Didn't even know.
Going to the premiere and
he was
not
the lead.
seeing himself on the screen.
He was the lead in the movie.
Yeah.
I was in that film. I was cut out too. I was happy.
Thin Red Line. Mickey Rourke was in it too, wasn't he?
He was originally the lead.
He was the lead in the movie.
No.
He went to the premiere.
And they didn't tell him?
They didn't tell him.
I think he found out maybe at the junket when they said, "And what part are you?" But he was a cover of Vanity Fair and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And he was in it, but just like
he had no lines.
around the edges.
He completely reshaped the movie.
Around Jim Caviezel and sort of shaped the movie around that.
This is why there are so many deleted scenes from films. Scenes will have to go for various reasons, mainly because they are repetitive or surplus to the plot, pacing or running time. The film The Wicker Man is a film where it was cut down from its original running time to fit it into a double feature. It looked so easy. From the mid-70s to the mid-80s, the blockbuster big-budget film seemed effortlessly simple to accomplish. Films such as Jaws, Ghostbusters, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Back to the Future, Superman, Alien. These are just as popular now, and still resonate in pop culture. They are also trying to be remade or reimagined, a sequel or prequel made to ride on their coattails. But there was also the failures in that time period. Disney's The Black Hole, 1941, Dune, George Lucas's Howard the Duck, Popeye, to name a few. There is also an interesting occurrence with the film, Watcher in the Woods. A film that was released theatrically, and then pulled out of the cinemas, re-edited, had some reshoots done on it, and re-released. After all the tinkering, it was not good and flopped. If you think you can make a great film simply by editing it, try to do this with science fiction films made around the same time, like Star Crash, The Humanoid, or H.G. Wells' The Shape of Things to Come. Good luck with that. Also, a basic rule of thumb, the more cuts or edits in a feature the worse it is, because the filmmakers are trying to edit themselves out of trouble. Suicide Squad is a good example of this. In closing, all the elements must be there. A good script. A sympathetic director, who is not afraid to listen and change the mind. Well cast. Good production values. And in post-production, people that understand the project they are working on. Good sound mix. Good special effects. Good use of music and/or musical score. This still does not guarantee success. Lightning in a bottle is very hard to achieve. And this is the problem with the latest Star Wars films, both prequels and sequels. Not well written and thought out scripts, and filmmakers thinking they can fix it in the edit.
Well, let me see that Panaka scene, the one where everybody's sitting down.
I had an idea how we'd do it, but it's turned out to be a little more difficult than I thought, but I'll show you where it's going. What's the worst of it?
Well, we'll leave this for the time being, and we'll create this other shot, and then if this other shot works, we'll come back to this shot, take Panaka, slip him out of sync so he doesn't start to move. So he just is standing there. Okay? So, see, Panaka's starting to move in this shot.
Mm-hmm.
So we split him out and start him here. We'll split it right in front of the pilot. There, just go forward. One. Try that.
That's the worst
of it. I'm going to do the other thing on the other side. And I want to get just the tail end of Obi-Wan sitting down.
You're resyncing both flanking actors.
Yeah.
Okay. This is cyber directing, right?
Yeah. Okay. I'll be back in a couple hours.
Okay. Well, maybe you got what you wanted there. You got the George, I'm directing here in the editing room sequence, which is what he loves to do, which is change the actors' performances, you know. We've gotten into that. It's gotten into the last 2 weeks, a habit of not taking anything for granted. If we can split one actor from one take and put him, you know, resync him with everybody else, we're doing lots of that. That's, to me, I mean, it's fantastic you can do that, but it's opening up a whole world of, you know.
So was Star Wars saved in the edit? The short answer is yes, and no. Star Wars succeeded because everything worked. Script, casting, design, special effects, music, sound and picture editing. And if you still doubt me, give the Star Wars Holiday Special a re-edit. As the old saying goes, you can't polish a turd.
The Star Wars Holiday Special.
Some of the time. Oh, another outstanding feature of this little model. You can recharge it.
The best bounty hunter in the galaxy.
Oh no. What will we do now?
Oh, and a last footnote, George Lucas was one of the editors of Star Wars.